Alright, so I had some time to work on the boat this weekend, and I figured, well, I'll start with brackets. I still got the airbox bracket to build, the battery box, all that. And I thought, well, I want to make sure the seat's going to sit in here properly, or at least see where the seat's going to sit. That way, if I needed to move the airbox, like rig it up to be in a different position. It's pretty tight right there, but anyway, so I just thought, I'll go ahead and get the seat mounting all done, put the seat in there, test it out, figure out the positioning, and go from there. I mean, making brackets is pretty quick and easy. Battery box, not that big a deal. So anyway, I had this I-beam, and I went ahead and cut the ends out to where they kind of fit the shape of the boat. I started out with this I-beam in the back, and so the cutting was kind of weird. I just kind of kept going on it, but it's just going to be welded to the engine bearer assembly. So what I'm doing on the back is I've got some channel, some 1/4 inch by 4 inch, I think, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm putting this square tubing through the channel. I'm going to weld it to the channel, and then this will sit in like the I-beam, welded to the engine bearers. And then essentially right here, these pegs on the seat are going to sit in that and then have a pin. And one thing I wanted to do was I wanted to be able to pivot in the front and be able to raise the seat, just move it forward. So I'll get it all set up, where I think it's about right, and I'll test it out. But at some point I had to figure out some sort of a pin system for the back, just something I can pull in and out. The way I'm building this, we'll see. I thought it'd be kind of cool if I had could figure out some kind of a lever with a spring-loaded pin that you could just pull the lever and it pulled the pin out of the hole and then lift the seat. So I don't know about that. We'll see. For now, I just want to get the thing, the supports welded in, and be able to pin it. But essentially, there should be some decent space between the rails and for storage. So here's 18 inches center to center on these between the beam and the channel. So there'll definitely be some room in there. If I can lift the seat most of the way up, there'll be a decent little storage area. And but we'll see how that goes, and just get ready to weld these in. And I was gonna pull them out before I did that and drill holes there for the pins. Just be easier to do with it out. So anyway, keep going. All right, so here's where I'm at. So this is the front rail, front mount. So the idea is to make it somewhat adjustable, because I'd like to find the sweet spot, but I'm not sure exactly where that's going to be. And this is just square stock I had laying around, I kind of pick up scraps, just not knowing what I might use them for. End up with a lot of different crap. Anyway, so this is going to go in here. I figured I'd bolt through. Obviously going to drill a hole here, and then essentially that's just going to slide on there and bolt on. This is the front of the seat. So right now, as it sits all the way down in there, this front rail is going to be an inch higher than the back rail. So this is like 4 7/8, and this is like 5 3/4, 5 7/8, something like that. So we'll see how it works out. If I have to go lower, I guess I can just cut it down. Not really a big deal. I don't really think so. I wanted a little bit of lift in the front, kind of a little bit of a kickback because I didn't want to be sitting forward too much. Anyway, we'll give it a try. I still got to finish. Still got to put the groove in this thing. And I'm trying to. I got this groove cut out where it's somewhat tight on the pin right here. Because I really didn't want to end up bending this, but it's going to be a swivel, so I'll probably just end up with a lock nut, bolting a lock nut through here. And once I figure out the height that I want, I'll probably just weld that in at that height. And I can always experiment with just putting something in the bottom to space it, raise it up, see what the right height is. Probably just leave that in the bottom and then weld it in. So anyway, get this set up, then I'll set the seat in, pin it, get everything set where I want it, mark it, pull the seat, and then weld these into the engine bearer assembly. It should be good. I don't think it's gonna, we're not talking a massive amount of forward or backward movement. Obviously, you got a certain amount of weight and pull on it, but it's mostly vertical. There might be a little bit of torque this way for taking off or whatever. I don't know, but not too worried about it. This is 3-inch high I-beam. I believe this is 3/8. So, with this welded to the engine bearers, I don't see it being a problem. And then this, the the pressure it's going to take is mainly just downward. So between the two, this is like 1/4 inch here, and I don't know, 3/16 or 1/8 right there. It's probably 1/8. Anyway, but I think that's not going to be a problem whatsoever. Plenty sturdy. But the seats, it's 5 foot wide inside. I'm thinking 2 adults and a kid, should be pretty comfortable in the seat. I guess we'll find out. But hoping to get this done today, and then I got a couple brackets to finish. I do have to, before I weld everything in, I need to drill a hole in the bottom of that panel up there and put the cable through to drop it down before I weld in. And we'll see how it goes. Alright, so I got the seat mounting rails tacked in, at least in the front, which is where it's hinged. So here's kind of what it looks like at the moment. I can lift the seat up. That's about how she's going to hinge. So I think that's going to work out pretty good because, you can lift that seat up to that point where it's hitting, and there's plenty of room to move stuff in and out of there as a storage area. So anyway, I'm gonna get that tacked down, pull the seat, and then I'll weld it up. And let's see, got the cable run through a hole, got the steering cable all tied up there. I had to change the bracket on the bottom of the steering gearbox. You can't have it on the side that the cable's connecting to on the pivot arm. I didn't realize till I went to tighten everything down. There's not enough clearance there, so I just had to reverse the bracket and come at it from an angle, which is probably what you're supposed to do. But anyway, cable's in, got a little mounting deal right there. Seems to lay real nice in there. And we'll get this seat tied up today. Maybe even start on that airbox bracket. But I really wanted the seat in there to see how that airbox was going to set. I've yet to get in there and just kind of feel it out. But that's about the angle I'd mocked it up at and felt that, okay, I can kick back a little bit, and still drive and have enough room to scooch in and out. Could put it forward more, and I don't know. I'm gonna get in and check it out. I know if I put the windscreen on, essentially that seat height is gonna really matter. Just because you have to be able to go see over it. So I don't know. See where we go. I think it's both going to hit the water before that windscreen ever gets put on. It's going to get tested out. I understand the whole idea of the windscreen keeping water out of the boat and off of you, especially in the winter and stuff, which makes total sense. So anyway, it's kind of one of those things, you try things out, see what you like, see what works. I can always raise this up. That'd be plenty easy enough to raise the seat. But your steering wheel on the dash is where it is. Ultimately, I don't see wanting that to be between my legs. So, it's kind of like, really only want to go so high with it. All right, finally got a little bit done on this thing. So, got the seat mounts in, and everything worked out pretty good there. Also, just put together this bracket here for the air box. Kind of screwed up and had to move it, but yeah, it's pretty tight. This touches the fabric, doesn't push into it, but it's right there. So airbox mounted. Still need to pick up some hardware, permanent stuff, but seat's functional. I need to pick up hardware for that as well, but I was kind of going over everything, and one thing I still need is some rubber to go underneath the water box and a way to strap that. And I'm trying to figure out something I can do temporarily, until I pull the engine the next time. I can kind of mark it out and build a permanent mount for it. It's probably not going to go anywhere, but sure it'd be nice to have it strapped down. I might be able to work something out around the belly and down to that rail. It's just pretty tight. I don't know if I can drill a hole or anything down there, but it's just kind of going over everything. I think I'm just going to leave this here for the first run, just the vent for the fuel. Basically just have the battery box left, which is going right there, and hook up the battery, strap it down. I was thinking about just doing it the same way I did these, just with angle right here. Just run angle from here to here, and mount the battery in it and strap it down, because I really don't think you need a battery box for this. It just needs to be secure. And so anyway, that's the thought on that. But seat worked out pretty good. You can see back there, the fabric's right there, but not pushing against it. So I don't know. I think it's good. There may be alterations to it in the future. I can move it forward. I can raise it up. It's pretty easy. Cut off the mounts and raise the mounts off of those rails, and do whatever needs to be done there. I think this will be good for the first time out. Steering cable's finished up. Electrical should be good. As soon as I get the battery in, I'll do another run out here. But essentially, I don't have a trailer for it, so I was considering putting a different axle under that, modifying the trailer and all that, but I don't think I'm going to. I've been looking on Craigslist just to find a trailer. It's just, so far I would have had to travel, at least an hour and a half, if not up to 4 hours, just for trailers I think I could make work. So there's one in about an hour and a half away. I think, if it's still there next weekend, I might be making that trip. I need to take more time off from work anyway. I'm maxed out on my paid time off. But I was actually looking at that jet ski. I think I'm gonna put a small motor on it and just have it for something. Just put all the crap back on it. Got a fuel tank. You know, just something to throw on the river and putt around with grandchild on or something, just to have fun. I don't know. It might be just a whole nother thing, another project one of these days. But I think I can kind of put everything back on it, even though it was cut off. I think, you know, I could probably make something work, bracket it back on or something. But anyway, getting close to a test run. Just need to throw the exhaust back in, put some rubber on that water box, and I'm not using that other fuel tank yet. I don't think I really need to, especially for a test run. It's hooked up. It's all there. There's no vent on it connected. You know, at one point I'll vent these together, figure out a way to penetrate the hole here somewhere. You know, I don't know. It might even come after I figure out what I'm doing with the swim deck. So there's plenty to work on this winter. You know, it would be nice to get it to a lake, but I got to put a trailer together. I got to get it registered. You know, so I can do it legally without getting tickets. So, which requires an inspection. But anyway, that's the update.